get this show going because tonight is really just about a celebration. As we all know, COVID kept us all from getting together, and that would have been a very important thing for us to have done, to have kind of shared the good that went on last year. And I just want to thank everybody for taking time tonight to get together. I'm watching all these smiling faces, and some of you that, you know, haven't seen each other in a long time. So it is so appreciative to have it. But as the screen says, let's kind of get this show on the road. So tonight I'm going to act as our masters of ceremony. And as you can see from all this, we're going to try and have a little fun along the way. Barbara and I enjoyed the year of being out on the road and coming around and seeing everybody. And yes, as you can tell, the sheep are out back, and they're wondering if I just do a shout out to all of them because they're out in the rain. They wanted to be in here and be in the audience, but that just wasn't quite happening. But tonight we're going to have a pretty full agenda of kind of going through and talking about the good of last year and celebrating some successes, and shout out to some people that helped make Rotary grow last year. And to start that off, we'd like to start off by having, well, let me go through, because sorry there, I should have been looking at my slide. But tonight's going to be about special recognitions. And then, as you know, I went around to every club, and we literally were asking people to put their passions inside a cube. And I gathered all of those during the year, and over the last few days I've been looking at all of those, and we're going to do a little slideshow about the passions of everybody. And so, as they say in the country, let's party until the cows come home tonight. And with that, I'm going to call upon our district governor, Cindy O'Neill, to give us a few words of welcome.
Welcome everyone to the 2019-2020 Evening of Celebration with past District Governor Rick Olson. Thank you all for joining the fun. Whoops, what happened to the share screen?
It'll come back.
Okay. A long time ago, in a land far away, in Seattle, in 2019, we met at Prepets in person. We were dressed in our finest, from head to toe, not just from the waist up. And District Governor-elect Rick Olson stood before us to present the 2019-2020 theme for the year. Rotary connects the world. Larger than life, and with a wingspan of 7 feet. By the way, that was his nickname during speech training at governor-elect training. Wingspan stood and delivered his speech to all of his president-elects in Seattle in person at Prepets. And he spoke about connecting your passions in Rotary to make a difference in the world. Tonight, we unveil the passions of Rotarians that made a difference, an extraordinary difference, in the world we live in.
All right,
Thank you for joining us.
All right, just a minute. I got to do a share screen here. I lost my button. Hold on just a minute. We will find it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Am I good, Bill?
What better do, Rick? There you go.
Thanks.
So
All right, give me a second to get the other presentation right back up. So. Are we back up in the right order, Bill?
I don't see a shared screen up yet.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay, just a minute.
But while you're looking for that, let me just draw everybody's attention to the chat box. Lots and lots of positive feedback from that. Very inspirational. What a great organization we have.
Okay, Bill, we should be coming up here just a minute.
I see it.
Do I have it the right way?
There you go. Perfect.
All right. So that was our presentation. Once again, those were the passions that those of you filled in. And there, as I said in the slide, there were 1,850 hearts that were filled out during the year. And those are things that we could do to help change the course of Rotary. But with that tonight, we're actually going to start giving some awards out, and some of them are very unique in the fact that the first award that we're going to give out tonight is an award for the Rotary International Service Above Self. And that's an award that we submit the candidate, and then Rotary International Board determines the recipients of that. And this year there were only 157 of these, as I understand, that were given out. So at this time, I would ask if we could have Charter President Emily Francona of the Rotary E-Club of the state of Jefferson. Please unmute yourself so you can say a few words in the presentation of that award.
Well, good evening, everybody. And I'm so glad that Rotary is no longer quite as stuffy as it once was. We can just have fun, enjoy ourselves, share jokes, share songs, and just chat and be among friends. Anyway, my purpose here today is to talk to you about a very, very special Rotarian from our district. I am deeply honored to introduce Frances Dixon, who has been recognized by the Rotary International community for her decades-long efforts to make a difference in the lives of some of the poorest and most disenfranchised people in the world, Mayan families. Recognizing the abject poverty of the indigenous Mayans displaced by Guatemala's long, brutal civil war in the remotest areas of the country, Frances set out to do something about it in the true Rotary spirit. Determining that offering educational opportunities are some of the most effective tools against poverty and conflict, she resolved to bring hope to children in Guatemala's remote Western Highlands. In the early 1990s, she started and continues to lead the nonprofit organization Adopt a Village in Guatemala. This included acquiring land, building schools, even establishing a farm to help battle traditional malnutrition and related health problems, all in hopes of bettering the lives of Mayan families. As a longtime Rotarian, many of you have met Frances during one of her project presentations to your clubs or at district events, and may have participated in some of her fundraisers over the years. I did not meet Frances until our newly chartered club decided to pursue service dedicated to basic education and literacy in partnership with her Adopt a Village organization. The result of that cooperation is our Leave No Girl Behind project, targeting the most underserved group of impoverished Mayans, girls. Working with Frances on this project and visiting the site made me realize just how amazing this lady's unwavering dedication and diligence to bringing hope to children and their families is, one life at a time. Today, our project offers yearly scholarships to 4 girls and helps fund early education outreach programs to elementary school students and some even younger. Frances has dedicated 30 years of her life to making a difference, sacrificing a career in marketing, family life, and her life savings as well, by spending the better part of each year working side by side with Mayan families. Her unwavering dedication to the guiding Rotary principle of service above self reflects great credit upon herself, on our district, every one of us here, and indeed on the entire Rotary world. With this most prestigious Rotary Award, Frances joins 3 other members in our club who have been recognized for their long-standing dedication to service with this same award. So Frances, come back soon and continue to inspire us to be our best. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily, for those great words. And on the screen, for those of you that have been looking at it, she was not able to be here, but Frances sent me her notes of what she would like to have said. So she says, receiving this great honor, the Rotary International prestigious Service Above Self Award, is the pinnacle of my volunteer work over the past 26 years as a Rotarian. One of the reasons that I joined Rotary in 1994 was expressed in its motto, service above self. Also paramount to me was the Rotary advances peace and worldwide understanding. These 2 elements have been the guiding light to my volunteer work. It has been a life-changing experience to work side by side with the indigenous people of Guatemala to help them to overcome a legacy of profound poverty and oppression. I am truly humbled that I could make an impact in Guatemala and improve the quality of life for the Maya. And I am deeply grateful to have had the opportunity to work collaboratively to build many wonderful Rotary partnerships along the way. Now, when she is able to get out of Guatemala and get back here, we will do a special celebration, maybe down in the Medford area near her home, and we will travel down there so that we can present her with this beautiful award that we have here. That said, the other thing I'll throw in here before we jump to the next award is each of the award recipients, there's plaques, there are award recognition things that I will mail to each one of you. Our ability, obviously we didn't get together, so you can't pick it up in my living room. So we will find a way to get it to you. On some of the bigger ones, I'm going to personally deliver them. So we will go from there. Next up on our awards, I'm going to ask that Mike McGowan, who is the Lakeview Club president, to say a few comments about this year's recipient. But before we do that, I wanted to explain what the Cliff Coleman Award is. Because Cliff, you were on here, you were the first person to receive the award. And this was an award started by PDG Bill Greil to honor a Rotarian that has given a lifetime of dedication, leadership, and passion to Rotary and their community. A recipient cannot serve as a district governor. Our first recipient is attending tonight, so here's a shout out from everybody to you, Cliff. So tonight, Mike, it'll be your honor to announce our second recipient of this great award. So Mike, if you'd unmute yourself.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Rick. So I'm here tonight to talk to you all about John Bogardus. John was a longtime member of the Rotary Club of Lakeview. And as we begin these comments, first I'd like to acknowledge 3 people who've joined us for the Zoom call tonight and 1 person who couldn't join us tonight. And the 3 who have joined us are all members of John's family, Joni Bogardus, Brian Bogardus, and Jessica Bogardus. So thanks, Joni, Brian, Jessica, for joining us tonight to honor John and John's memory. The person who couldn't join us tonight is Ginger Casto. She's the president of our club last year, and she nominated John for this award. So John was born in Eugene. He attended college and law school at Willamette University and started his law practice in Portland. Decided that practice in Portland was not for him. Law practice was a family tradition. I believe one One of his grandfathers was a prominent lawyer, but John had a different idea about practicing in the city, and so he moved to Lakeview just shortly after he began his career. And the interesting thing is that as a 25-year-old, John joined the Rotary Club of Lakeview, where he was a participant and a valued member for 45 years. His small town practice in Lakeview was very comprehensive. There are only a few lawyers in Lakeview. There can only be a few since we're such a small community. And John had a varied practice. Over the course of his career, he represented many people in Lakeview, many businesses. He was also the town council, so he was a very significant contributor in the community in his professional life. But beyond that, John played a very active role in our Lakeview Rotary Club over the entirety of his 45 years. For 2 times, he was the president of the club, and for the last few years, John was also the chairman of the foundation chair, and as such responsible for collecting and encouraging people to donate to Rotary and also to donate to the club's charitable activities. I think it's fair to say that John was a leader in every respect. He had this fantastic, deep voice of a prominent and successful lawyer. He could be, I think, an extremely convincing speaker, if not intimidating, when he really wanted somebody to do things. He was such a strong believer in contribution to community that in the years since Robbie and I came to Lakeview and joined the Rotary Club, we watched John convince people in a very compelling way, such that in the last few years of his foundation chairman role, he was able to attain 100% contribution from the entire club. Some people gave little and some people gave a lot. And John was one of the ones who gave a lot. There's a quote by a 20th century industrialist and philanthropist named Henry Kaiser. He used to say that problems are only opportunities in work clothes. And that's the way I like to think about John. John he passed away at Christmas time last year. He had a brief illness. And I know that I speak for the entire club in Lakeview when I share how much we all miss John attending our meetings every single week and giving us his big smile and his booming voice and his guidance and wisdom. So on behalf of the Rotary Club of Lakeview, I would like to share my honor and the privilege of the award that the District 5110 has made to John Bogardus for the Cliff Coleman Award. Thank you very much to all of you.
Well, thank you very much for that kind thing. Brian, if you are on there, I know you're a fellow Rotarian. If you are so inclined, please unmute yourself if there are a few words you would like to say.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all Rotarians. This is a huge honor to my family, my brother, Brad, Joni, and Jessica. It means a ton to us, and I know Rotary meant a lot to my dad, and we're very appreciative of this honor. Thank you.
I think the picture that you sent to us personifies him with a big smiley face, and we can all picture him at a meeting or a grants meeting just pushing the good of Rotary. So congratulations to your family for the honor that your dad served.
Thank you.
Excellent. So now moving on to the next award. It's not that every district governor comes up with a new award they would like to do or not like to do, but when the leadership sat down and we started talking about different people and the things they have done and why Rotary is what it is. Rotary is what it is and keeps growing because we take the time to do the mission that Jim Lucier said so many years ago. The mission of Rotary is to develop leaders. That should be the thing we should be doing, because if we develop leaders, especially young leaders, those young professionals will go out and do good in the world. So this year, I have created a new award, and it's called the Exceptional Service to Leadership Development, to recognize a Rotarian that in their own way has spent their whole time in Rotary trying to make people better leaders, that they have worked with the young people and tried to help them move along. They have helped at every step for Rotarians to get to their journey and seek a greater good. And this year, I'm proud to say that the first recipient is somebody that I consider a friend, a mentor, and would have stepped in for me when I wasn't there. And so I am here to tell you that this year's recipient of the award is Mr. John Bushnell. Now, John, if you're on, I know you're still there, you can unmute yourself and we'll let you say a few words.
Well, I'm overwhelmed. I was looking and thinking what a great award that is. What a great idea. I had no idea that it was going to me. I think that we all try to do what we can in the ways that we can for Rotary and for our district. And thank you.
You're most welcome. And I'm feeling a little tight in the chest, so I think you'll have to run the rest. No, I'm kidding. The rest of the meeting, but a great honor. And John, I do travel some, so if I do tend to have meetings in Las Vegas, I might personally come deliver this one to you.
Thanks. I'm overwhelmed. Thanks.
Oh, thank you very much. So next, we will be looking at presenting the Rotarian of the Year. And this is an award that the leadership and the awards committee takes a look at, and they start talking about the Rotarians that have really impacted an aspect of Rotary and have really gone out of their way. And they oftentimes are those that are somewhat in the shadows, but they are great people. And so this year, I'm very excited to say that we are honoring as Rotarian of the Year, Dr. Ken Orwick. And I don't know if Ken is on here tonight. Bill, do you see him? He may not be on there. For those of you that didn't know, for 20 years, he was our camp doctor at Camp Ryla, and he was always there, and he took care of needs and working with the kids and the students that were there, far greater than an MD. He was there as part of the Ryla family. And so we're very honored tonight to give the award of Rotarian of the Year to Dr. Ken Orwick. And we want to thank Ryla and the Ryla committee for putting his name forward. He just exemplifies what we really start looking for when we start talking about Rotarians that are out there. So Ken, wherever you are, we will follow up with you and we'll present you this award.
I'm actually on and listed under Lori Orwick.
Well, there you are. So would you like to say a couple words?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, it's thank you very much. I felt I had one of the best jobs in Rotary, being the doctor at Ryla Camp. It was really fun, and I had great people to be there with all the others that did much of the work. I guess a little bit of sorrow too. My wife and I are just in the process of selling our house here in Lebanon and moving up to Newburgh, so I may be changing districts for Rotary in the future. But yeah, thank you for the honor.
Well, thank you for the service.
And the position at Ryla Camp, if it happens next summer, is available to somebody that wants to be serving in the medical field, and it's just a super spot to get to know wonderful people and wonderful kids. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your service. And like I say, you're not that far away. I may come visit you and get your award to you. So next up, we're going to kind of change around who's giving out the award. So at this time, I would like to have Jim Polk, our district treasurer, present the next award. So Jim, if you could unmute yourself.
And I'm online here. I have the privilege tonight of presenting an award to recognize a Rotarian who provided outstanding service to the district. He's been the chair for the district conference, his tireless efforts of planning and put together the conference that never was. He serves as an assistant governor, club executive secretary, club administrative chair, club and club foundation treasurer. Peter does it all, has done it all, and continues to do it all. So the recipient of the Outstanding Service Recognition is Pete Gribskov of the Rotary Club of Eugene. He couldn't be with us tonight, so Rick, it's your privilege presenting with that award.
I'll be happy to do it. The other thing, for those of you that may or may not know, my hand and heart go out to him for the fact that he was our district conference chair and put tremendous hours with his committee in there for the conference that never got to be had. So we were very excited to see him be able to receive recognition for that. Next up in our lineup, I'm going to ask that our district governor, Cindy O'Neill, present the next award. So Cindy, if you will unmute yourself.
The Outstanding District Leadership Award is going to a person in our district who is always there, supporting the cause, working diligently, consistently, and in a timely fashion, offering always candid and wise advice to those of us in the line of fire. This person volunteers at the critical moment without a second thought. This person has grit, whether it is trudging through balancing our budgets or gearing up for tracking the COVID disaster relief grant and the multitude of receipts, or throwing his heart and soul into his club's service projects. This person, this leader, is on board 100%. This year's Outstanding District Leadership Award goes to District Treasurer Jim Polk of the Rotary Club of Illinois Valley.
Yay, Jim. So Jim, we'll let you say a few words because you will be, I believe, the last award recipient that'll be allowed to speak.
Well, thank you very much. It has been my privilege, and I hope to continue serving in every capacity possible. Thank you very much.
All right.
Way to go, Jim.
Shout out for Jim. All right, now it's a big change of direction of where we're going, because one of the features that we are doing tonight is we're going to have and hear the speeches of those that submitted their name to be considered for district governor in the upcoming years. And with that, I'm going to call upon the nomination chair, Claudette McWilliams, to do the introductions and take control of this part.
Thank you, PDG Rick. Our district has a long and strong tradition of excellent leadership, and that's probably why you see so many of our past district governors working at zone levels and even higher on occasion. Now, that may be attributable to the quality of candidates we have, but it also may be a function of the effort that goes into the selection process. And in District 5110, we have a democratic process where we elect the individuals who serve on the committee. I apologize, I have a miniature pincher that is a ferocious guardian of the House. So he's used to DG speeches and wants to participate. But be that as it may, every fall, the nominating committee starts its work. And I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank the elected members of the nominating committee. They include Suzanne Johansson of the Rotary Club of Bend, Mount Bachelor, Gil Achterhoff of Eugene Delta, David Figure-8 of the Rotary Club of Medford, and Dave Bassett of the Rotary Club of Port Orford. Those elected representatives are joined by PDG Bill Greil and PDG Rick Olson and myself. And you should know that the current district leadership gets to participate in that decision. So on October 3rd, we will be interviewing the candidates. But before we get to the interviews, you'll be hearing from the three candidates tonight. They are going to present a 4-minute talk, and they should be aware that all protocols are declared complied with. And for those of you who've ever sat through an introduction of every PDG and mucky muck in the room, you will greatly appreciate that. So to all the speakers. Now, the question that they've been asked to answer in 4 minutes or less: we live in a time of a global pandemic and pervasive social unrest. Where does Rotary go from here? Our first speaker, we can move on to the next slide, is our Assistant Governor from the Rotary Club of Coquille, Christine Hainsworth. Christine, take it away. Christine.
Sorry, I didn't unmute. Thank you, Past District Governor Claudette. Good evening, Rotarians and guests. Thank you for the opportunity of letting me be a candidate for the District Governor of District 5110 and to talk about Rotary. I am Chris Hainsworth, and I am the 2nd generation member of the Rotary Club of Coquille. Because of COVID-19, many lives are affected around the world, and it's important to know what we can do as Rotarians to maintain our clubs, what we have, and to foster new growth. Out of the bad comes good. People, as well as Rotarians, are looking within themselves, their own families, and communities to help each other through this difficult time. Rotary enriches the lives we come across, promoting peace, conflict resolution, equality, diversity, health, growing local economies, ending polio forever, and environment protection around the entire world. The big question with COVID-19 is, where does Rotary go from here? Quarantine will not last forever. When we're able to get back to normal, what will the new normal be like for Rotary? What direction should we go? I wish to talk about 2 things: attracting new members and change. In order to attract new members, we should take a closer look at social media. Our lives have gone digital. Meetings online have become our new way of life. For many of our clubs, this is how we have been staying connected. However, the amount of people attending our meetings has gone down. I want to see about boosting our attendance rate by providing more access through social media. Why not have our Rotarian members communicate at a regular basis directly to our communities using Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, etc., as well as our local radio, television, and newspapers. We can share our stories, our ideas, our projects with the younger generation. Now, more than ever, membership diversity is crucial to our clubs. Promote your fundraisers and events electronically. Networking connects you to the world, so consider streamlining the event on or projects live online. Continuously share your Rotary stories, events, and projects in a way that will pique potential Rotarians' interests. Engaging your club members' involvement with social media opens up the closed mind to think outside of their box. This is how we have always done it. Regarding change, club meetings are essential to the life of the club. Club meetings must stay, but what can be changed are the weekly meetings. Meetings can be held 2 times a month, either by Zoom, online, or in person. Record and share these meetings online, YouTube, etc. Through Zoom meetings, you can put Rotarians, guest speakers, visitors into discussion groups. We can do fun events and have happy dollars and club drawings. Our biggest asset is not the money. It is the people, the Rotarians. I read somewhere that the youth of the club is not about the average age of its members. It is the spirit with which they work. It is young by the characteristics exhibited by the members. Youth is not a number, it is a state of mind. Thank you again for the opportunity and for your time. I also want to thank the person who nominated me. This has been a pleasure and it has been fun to do. And I think I feel the five-way test of, is it fun? Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Our next speaker is a member of the Rotary Club of Greater Bend. It's a pleasure for me to introduce Kim DeBrew.
Thank you. Our communities need our help now more than ever. Rotary clubs are in place, and members are ready to serve. We need to reach out to our communities and find ways to provide what they need the most right now. Visiting with community members, Chamber of Commerce, and nonprofit leaders should give Rotary clubs an idea of the most pressing needs in their local community. We can provide service projects to address those needs. The diversity of our membership, not just in classifications, though that's how our Rotary forefathers thought the best representation of a community could be found. Today, in order for our clubs to stay relevant, they need to actively commit to reaching out to women, people of color, members of different religious preferences, younger men and women, and people with a variety of sexual orientations. Bringing together members who are different from ourselves broadens our ability to see the challenges our communities face. The service projects we do attract individuals who are interested in helping, and this is a natural way to bring in new members, but we have to remember to ask them to join Rotary. Invite your neighbors, church members, corporate leaders, and involved community members to your next COVID-safe service project. During the project, talk to them about the good work your club does in the local community and the world. Ask if they would like to learn more about your club by attending a meeting either in person or online, and follow up with them. In 1989, I had a growing business and 2 daughters, ages 5 and 10. My life was full and I was busy. I had to be asked about a dozen times to attend a Rotary Club lunch before I broke down and obliged my friend, thinking that if I went, he would finally stop calling me. Little did I know. That lunch changed my life and opened my eyes to the incredible work that Rotarians do. I joined within a month, but even before joining, I was helping with the club service projects. Think back to when you were invited to Rotary. What was your path? What was attractive to you? Was it the club service projects? The prestige of belonging? The ability to meet and get to know other business leaders? The leadership and training opportunities? Or the international aspect? These things haven't changed in Rotary. Everyone is busier now, but in this pandemic, everyone is isolated at home and we crave connection to other people. Use this unique opportunity and these unique times to make a phone call and make the ask. You might be saying, that's great, but how do we keep the members we have and the new ones that we get? Engagement and involvement. If a member hasn't participated for a few weeks, call them and just check in. Knowing someone cares about them might be the key to re-engage them in Rotary. For many members, belonging to a Rotary fellowship keeps them engaged in Rotary. With new members, it's important to assign a mentor who's not their sponsor. The mentor provides a second relationship in the club and will guide the new member through their first year. This simple act of fellowship might be the reason someone decides to stay in Rotary. It's also important for members to get a broader view of Rotary beyond the club. Invite them to district events and go with them. Introduce them to the district governor and members from other clubs. And let them feel the brotherhood of Rotarians. Asking good questions and listening to the answers is what Rotarians are good at. Translating those answers into service projects is our lifeblood. Engaging with our community is our fuel. And working side by side with others is how Rotarians build peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final speech will be presented by District Treasurer and member of the Rotary Club of Illinois Valley, Jim Polk.
Thank you. past District Governor Claudette. We are Rotary. We were, we are, and we will be. This is Rotary, an organization of community members who gather in friendship to do good in their community, their nation, and the world. Good evening, I'm Jim, and I'd like to share some of my views relating to the current status of Rotary, where we are, and where we will go. The changes that we've seen in the last few years, and in the last 8 months in particular, are staggering. From the modifications of attendance tracking, to the types of memberships offered, to the concerns of in-person meetings due to the virus concerns, and the varied capabilities of our individual Rotarians to participate in electronic meetings have not only created new problems, but has also provided opportunities to create unique solutions here and around the world. The advancement of the electronic meeting capabilities continues to open new opportunities to bring relevant topics and wider ranges of interest into every meeting. The challenges we are facing continues to make our members weigh the benefits of being a Rotarian. When the amount of time or the financial cost is not offset by the value gained, Rotary loses. The most recent numbers for the United States in membership is distressing, to say the least. In pondering our future, I continually ask myself several questions. Should we as Rotarians be task-oriented or goal-oriented? Have we lost sight of the purpose of Rotary as we focus on the task, such as membership recruitment, member retention, or service project completion, to the point that we may be ignoring the actual goals of Rotary identified through our areas of focus and advanced through our avenues of service? As we address each task, we must keep our mind and our eyes on the end goal. Is the push to maintain or increase a certain level of membership beneficial to this organization in the long term? Have we weakened the meaning of being a Rotarian? My experiences and educational opportunities lead me to think Rotary might be better off by taking a step back and reconsidering some of these recent changes. The situations we face in our world today then smacks me in the face and brings me back to the reality that the changes were and are necessary. The idea that an individual Rotarian can be a fantastic Rotarian without sitting in a chair at a breakfast or lunch meeting 3 or 4 times a month only continues to provide the answer to that. As we address the concerns that are creating social unrest in our nation and the world, we must listen. We must use our skills to communicate. We must be able to accept differences. After all, we are one in Rotary. We should be able to unite to address the needs of our community, rising above the societal differences and issues. My personal belief that the friendships formed in Rotary are one of the best examples and ways that can be used to attract new and retain our current members. Gathering weekly for meetings, getting together to work on a community service project, or the fellowships that we can meet in can strengthen the bonds being created. The Dalai Lama stated, "When ignorance is our master, there is no possibility for real peace." Personally, I feel this starts with education and literacy, because without literacy, attempting to achieve any of the other areas of focus are difficult, and attaining peace and preventing conflict is impossible. It is my desire to be fully involved in the future of our organization. We are evolving into a more robust organization. We are adapting. We are creating innovating solutions. We are people of action. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Jim. And that is the 3 there. So once again, how about a little shout out to everybody? That's tough on short notice to be able to put together a talk, and we wish to thank all of the Rotarians that jumped in and said they would throw their hat in the ring. And as Claudette said, the next step now will be the interviews of each of the participants. So congratulations to all of you for completing this task. So up next in our district awards, I'm going to present the ones that we call the Avenue of Service. And for those of you that don't know, this is a district recognized award, and these awards come from the district, and it's for participation in service activities in one of the 5 areas of service that include club, vocational, community, international, and youth service. So the first one I wanted to touch on tonight then will be what we call the Club Avenue of Service. Now, Harry Mackin is no longer with us, but Harry gave service to his club, the Rotary Club of Rogue Gateway, in a tremendous way. And the projects he worked on and what he tried to do to keep his club going was incredible. And for that, his club submitted the name, and the awards committee was very honored to present the award to Harry Mackin. We will forward it on to his family, but a shout out to all the good that Harry did. As you can tell on these awards, because there's quite a few we're going through, we're not going to open the mic up because it might take us forever to get through some of these. So with that, the next one is what we call the Community Avenue of Service. And once again, the Rotary Club of Rogue Gateway submitted the name of Steve Rowe. And Steve Rowe really worked on a bunch of their community service projects and got them involved and tried to work very hard to get their members engaged. And he always had the passion and greatness of trying to make their club do better in their community. So on behalf of the awards committee, I'm happy to present that award to Steve Rowe. Steve, congratulations. Now our next award is going to go for what we call the Vocational Avenue of Service. And the recipient of that one tonight is Dan Smith with the Rotary E Club of the state of Jefferson. Now, some of you may have heard of Dan Smith lately. Dan's been following District Governor Cindy around and has been doing podcasts. And that's moved us to a whole new platform of how we try and brand and get the word and the greatness of Rotary out there. I've had the experience of being around him on Monday when we were down giving out aid to the fires in Medford, and he was around interviewing all of those that were participating to get sound bites of what's going on. Dan also was responsible for taking over the business to business network that we put out there, and we started moving, and now it's called our Rotary District Business Network. And it's an opportunity for every Rotarian to register their business or what they're known for and to get it out there and do what Paul Harris wanted us all to do, which is network and work together. So once again, congratulations from the awards committee to you, Dan, for a great job. The next one is for what we call the International Avenue of Service. And this one is going to Heather Edwards, who's with the Rotary Club of Eugene. Heather is the development director for their Project Amigos. She has worked in the community. She's worked on economic and nonprofit development since 2005. Heather is the ultimate connector for her Rotary Club and community. And the awards committee couldn't agree more that she was an incredible individual to receive the award for International Avenue of Service. Congratulations, Heather. The next award is for Rotary International's Avenue of Service. And this one is a district can nominate a member who has performed service in all 5 areas of service for an award from Rotary International. This year, we're pleased to name Camille. She's with the Rotary Club of Eugene Southtown as the recipient. She is incredibly involved in her Southtown Rotary. She's enthusiastically recruiting members into her communities. She currently is chairing 3 of their 9 local service committees. She's also enthusiastically chairs the Friendship Exchange Committee under International Service. Camille, on behalf of the awards committee, we wish to thank you very much for the service you've given to Rotary. Next up is what we call the Significant Service Award, and this is any president can nominate a club whose project has addressed a significant need in your community. This year, we're pleased to announce that this will be through the efforts of John Tim Chesney for the Rotary Club of Medford Rogue. They do the Mayan Village in Guatemala as a joint effort with the Woodland Public Charity to improve the health clinic. They do the Hope Village in Medford, where they've done installation of solar system to provide lighting to 30 tiny duplex houses, including all the permits and construction of 6 additional units. On behalf of the awards committee, Tim, and to the Rotary Club of Medford Rogue, great job in serving Rotary in the way you've chosen to do it. So, wow, this is a moment for you to kind of stop and say, gosh, is this ever going to get over? Well, it will, but we're not finished yet. But I thought I'd take a moment so you can swing your arms around and maybe just take a second to stretch your shoulders and get ready, because now we'll walk into a few more district awards. And at this time, I am very happy to once again bring our district governor, Cindy O'Neill, to present the next set of awards. So Cindy, if you'd unmute yourself, we would love to hear from you. If you choose not to, you can put your husband, Mike, on there. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. She said, don't say anything about Mike saying something. So there you go, Cindy.
Yes, my husband Mike is right here by my side. He's been listening to the whole event. He's very impressed. And we are so happy to be here. At this time, I'm very honored to present some awards that are related to growing young leaders in our district. So important to the future of Rotary, and I am so honored to present these awards. The very first award is for the RYLA Volunteer of the Year. RYLA stands for Rotary Youth Leadership Award. It is a wonderful camp for training our future high school leaders how to collaborate, be together, and promote peace. This particular person that is receiving the Rotary Volunteer of the Year for RYLA has for 10 years plus volunteered and served on the executive committee as a member, as well as the RYLA treasurer. She has a beautiful soul, according to her friends. She is a great listener and supports all volunteers and all campers at the RYLA camp. This year's RYLA Volunteer of the Year award goes to Brenda Patton. Congratulations, Brenda. Is Brenda here? You want to say a few words, Brenda? Okay. This next award is awarded to the Rotary Youth Volunteer. This person has for several years been in Rotaract, and she has been the Rotaract representative for the RYLA Executive Committee. She's also been on staff in the past at RYLA in previous years. She is regarded as an asset to everyone who works in RYLA and has been the past president of the University of Oregon Rotaract Club. So this year's recipient of the Rotary Youth Volunteer, the RYLA Youth Volunteer is Casey Bohm. Congratulations, Casey. I think I saw your name here. Would you like to say a few words?
Casey is online with us.
Hi, I am online. Sorry, I had to unmute and unvideo. I love this photo. I think I was like 14 in this photo. This is what yeah, thank you so much. This is such a wonderful group of people to be honored amongst. So I really appreciate it and have endless love for RYLA. It's such a fantastic program. So this is really exciting. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for your service to RYLA. And thank you for stepping up now to be involved and interact at the Cottage Grove High School. Thank you, Casey. Our next award is for the Interact Volunteer of the Year. This person has been the treasurer for Interact in the past year. She has done a great job formalizing policies for Interact as well as procedures, and has drastically increased the accountability for all Interact funds. And this year then, the Interact Volunteer of the Year Award goes to Ruth Linos. Congratulations, Ruth. Is Ruth here? Would you like to say a few things, Ruth? All right. Our next award is for the Interact Youth Volunteer. This person was the District Interact representative for 2019-2020, and that I've heard has done a terrific job. And so the Interact Youth Volunteer of the Year Award goes to MJ Rady. Congratulations, MJ. We also have the Rotaract Youth Volunteer of the Year Award. This person has been the past president of the University of Oregon Rotaract Club and was the co-chair last year of the District Rotaract Executive Committee. This year, she has been appointed to and has agreed to accept the position of District Rotaract Representative, and the Rotaract Youth Volunteer Award goes to Alexi Overland of Bend, by the way. Congratulations, Alexi. The next award is the Rotaract Rotarian Volunteer of the Year. This person was the past chair of the Rotaract Executive Committee and also the past advisor for the University of Oregon Rotaract Club. He is now the current president of the Rotary Club of Eugene, and I am honored to present the Rotaract Volunteer of the Year Award 2019-20 to President Tom Gilmore of the Rotary Club of Eugene. Congratulations, Tom. Are you here, Tom?
Indeed I am, Cindy.
Hey, congrats.
Well, I'd like to congratulate both Casey and Alexi, who were past presidents at the U of O. Also, Johnny Archer was a recipient at Bill Griles' District Awards, who was also a past president. And David Hernandez was in one of the pictures Rick had on his introductory video. So with a group of kids like that, it's been a distinct pleasure to work with Rotaract. And I'd also like to shout out Mary Hoskins, who really did a great job of representing Rotaract at the district level and funding a lot of things that the kids were able to do. So thank you, Mary.
Mary, are you on the line? Is there anything you'd like to add to the presentations just made?
No, we just have a very bright future, I think, because we have so many very talented, very committed, socially aware, and you know, really smart young leaders. So it's a privilege to work with them, you know, through RILA, Interact, and Rotaract, and it's a pleasure to work with them all. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. One of the absolutely fantastic programs, star programs of District 5110 is our Youth Exchange program. And tonight I'm really honored to be able to present this award, the Youth Exchange Volunteer Award, to our very own Knut Torvik of the Rotary Club of Roseburg Morning. Knut has been engaged at every level of youth exchange for our district. From detailed regulations, which are very complex, to safety for our youth, both our outbound and our inbound, to budgets, to personally seeing youth exchange students off at the airport, even during COVID. Thank you, Knut. He is knowledgeable at all levels of the program. He shows consistent professionalism, and you will be missed. And always being the kind of leader that is always accessible to your very high-performing youth exchange committee and team. Knut, thank you so much for your service to the district as the youth exchange volunteer. Thank you so much for your service.
Is Knut on, are you on there? Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, Knut, are you here? Oh, that's too bad.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Cindy. The sad part about doing it this way that I'm just right out of the chute was very obvious is that we're not in this big room together where we can have these claps and these cheering and these hooplas, but it is what it is. COVID makes these challenges and we will push through it because with it is opportunities. If nothing else, through these awards and recognitions tonight, it reminds us of really what our Rotary family has done and is about. If it can help excite us so that when we walk out of this, that we come out helping where we can, because there's so many things we can do to help. So right now, I'm going to move into what we call our Outstanding District Club Awards. And the first one we're going to do is we're going to walk through what the clubs are. And so all I can say is that when we started looking at who on the different levels, who the clubs were that we wanted to recognize as a best club or a best president, we went out and looked at your Facebook pages. We looked at your websites. We looked at the chatter between your members. We looked at the energy that you've shown at the various programs that go through. And so this year, I am so proud to make the designation for the District Best Small Club Award to go to the Rotary Club of Rogue Valley After 5. So, you know, claps, yays. This is when somebody from their club can hit the space bar and go woo woo. But our thanks to them. And like I say, if you go look at their club's Facebook page and you look at the things they're doing, they're an incredible club that is doing so much good in this world. So next up will be our medium club. And this club is going to go, this award is going to go to the Rotary Club of Redmond. And those of us that have been around for a long time recognize that at one point, I think past District Governor Jim Lucier was contacted about this club wanting to shut down. And they went and had a talk about what it's about, and they sat down and decided, no, they could be better.
Rotary Club of Redmond, they were like so small, they were almost going to shut down, and they just.
Yep. So here they are back and so this year you could just see the energy. When I went on my visits, you could see everything they were doing, you know, in calls of at the tail end when we were trying to get some COVID relief out, they were all over it. So I am very pleased and honored to recognize the Rotary Club of Redmond as the medium club. Woo-hoo, shout out. And for my large club, it was no question. I had to go to the Rotary Club of Greater Corvallis. They're just a club that they're a can-do club. I think what they're Lee Ackroth and the others that are over there are just going a mile a minute. They're trying to have fun and exciting ways. I saw today they were doing Facebook Live from down at a park. They're just on fire. So I'm very excited to really honor them with this award. And with these awards for the best club, on each of these, there's a banner, a pull-up banner, and we will get it from who had it last year. And obviously when we get back together, we will give it to you so you can display it at all your meetings, or maybe even as you do them on a Zoom, you can pull it up at the start of the meeting to remind your club of all the good things they did. And next, then, we have to say that as we look at what it takes to get a club going, there are also clubs that were out there that had incredible leaders that took on their clubs, and maybe there were transitional issues, or maybe they were trying to get themselves figured out. But in this case, the awards committee, along with myself, felt that the small club best club president should go to Steve Auerbach with the Rotary Club of Sisters, because he did an incredible job all year long of trying to get them, you know, on the map, trying to get them to do a lot of great things. They've got a lot of great members with a lot of passion. So Steve, my greatest honor to present you with that award. Are you on here tonight, Steve? I do not see him on there. So with that, we will move then to the medium-sized club. And this one, we sat down and we talked back and forth, and there was no way that one club could get it. There is absolutely two people last year that, as I talked to them and I went around and I met with them, that were absolutely on fire. They absolutely went from left to right. Marv would call me repeatedly to say, here's where we're at. Even when he was trying to deal with some family medical issues, he was spot on. When I went over to their meeting, he had everybody lined up. So Marv, my congratulations to you first. If you're on, if you want to unmute and say a word, and then I'll go to Janie. So let's start with you, Marv. Are you there?
Yes, I am. I want to thank you for the award. I really want to thank the people at PETS, because it's at PETS that I had the foundation. One was lead by example. The other one was get the 4 different personalities of your club involved, and then sit down with each of your members if you can. And I did sit down with 30 of our members on a one-to-one. And if it had not been for PETS, I wouldn't know what direction to go. So thank you for that. And thank you very much for this award.
Oh, well earned. And Janie, are you on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there's your smiley face. Say a few words.
I just appreciate this so much. It's a lovely honor. I had an amazing club to lead. It was an honor and a privilege to do that. I think something you said to me, Rick, early on helped me a lot. You actually said, you're going to do fine. You know why? You have a lot of energy. That energy just goes a long way. And, you know, a little energy from me and a lot of energy from my club, we were able to get a lot done. So thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you and everything you've done. Your club's outstanding, and it's a reflection of all the good you did. All right, so the next one then obviously is our large club. And this is one that, as I watched during the year, there was no question in my mind which way this one should go. And I am so pleased that I'm able to present this to Eva Germain Shimatakahara. And I'm sure she's sitting there, and in a minute we will let her speak. But this is a person that took over 2 clubs that merged together, that went in there, and she sat down early on and spoke to me of the challenges that she had and the things that she was up against, trying to maybe think outside the box. And that's so hard to do. And several times during the year, she called up and would share new ideas, and she would sit there, and to the point that I drove down and did a couple special extra meetings with her. She has got a heart of gold. She's got an energy level that is second to none. And I am just so honored to be able to have called her my friend, and that she reached out in those times. A couple of times she was frustrated, but the next day she called up with a new passion and new light. So Ava, are you on this call right now?
Yeah, I'm here. This is amazing and unexpected, and I'm a bit tearful. It was not easy. It wasn't easy to take care of 115 members who all had their own ideas, but we all came together. They were really dedicated, the people in my club, and they really give their heart to it, just like you talked about the heart. And there's a quote by Elizabeth Andrew that says something like, volunteers don't necessarily have the time, but they have the heart. So there you go. If they've got the heart, they'll get it done. So yeah, and I'd like to thank you and Chris Hainsworth and Bill Greil and my husband for standing behind me in all those times when it was tough, because I think every president in every Rotary club in the world faces challenges that they have to deal with, and they might think of quitting. And I did, as you know, think of quitting a few times, but it turned out to be very good. We had 24 projects. We got most of them done. We had 115 members, and I think 82 of those were involved in either a project or a committee, and the others went to the meetings. So it was pretty good. I mean, it's a fantastic club. It really is. Fantastic people. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And your husband is standing right behind you going, I'm still here, dear. And thank him for everything he did during COVID. I saw he was, living in the garage while you had the exchange student in the house. And so our hearts and thanks to him for everything.
He was in the garage for 6 weeks. And I had, thank you, everybody.
All right. So next is an award that really is saying club retention and engagement. And I'm proud to say that Glenn Brigham in the Rotary Club of Eugene Southtown, through the records, had the best club retention and engagement. And that's really an important award because it really speaks to what they're doing. And not only has Eugene Southtown been doing it, but Chris Wa's been over there. And for those of you that may or may not know, she started a new satellite club over at the garden, and what an exciting thing. So once again, thank you very much to the Rotary Club of Eugene Southtown for everything that you've done. You're really giving us a higher bar and level for the rest of us to aspire to. So thank you very much. All right, so I know you're sitting there. I know a lot of you are starting to look at the clock, go, oh my gosh, but I'm looking and almost all of you are hanging in, and we're getting close. We're, as they say in the Rotary, we are this close to getting there. But I wouldn't be doing justice if we didn't take a second to actually be able to thank some of the people that have been behind the scenes in the leadership side to get things done. So at this point, I do want to recognize that we have our executive assistant governor, who is David Figure-8, and David Figure-8's with the Rotary Club of Medford, but he served not only 3 years, but he hung in one more year as we were trying to get things going to make sure that our transition and everything else was there. Now, I know he's driving up the freeway. He promised me he would pull over at some spot, and we'll try and get him looped in here, but are you there, David?
I am. I actually postponed the travel so I can make sure I can be here.
Now that's really saying something. So I do want to thank you. For those of you who don't know, PETS is an incredible experience where all the president-elects are there. And not only that, all the assistant governors go out and you have to have roommates. And David, I think, was my roommate for 6 years, and he was always the last one to bed. I can only tell you that because he was the party animal. But there you go. David, thank you very much for your service.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Working with District Governors Claudette, Bill, and yourself, Rick, I learned a lot, inspired by most. I'm going to say all of you, of course, because you guys really show all of us what it means to be Rotarians. You put service above self. You put yourselves behind the needs of the rest of us because you guys just know how to lead. And I really appreciate the honor, the privilege, just the ability to learn from each of you in different ways, because each district governor is different. You really just brought it. And seeing your journey specifically, everybody needs to be, it inspired me to want to be a district governor as well at some point. Thank you very much, Rick. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And on your travels north tomorrow, you always know you can pull off at the ranch for a quick stop if you need to.
You bet.
All right. And with
Great work, Dave.
Yeah, see, there you go. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dave. And for those of you who don't know, this is a picture of Dave and his sons. They actually have a musical group and record music. So I thought this was very fitting. As with a lot of these other ones tonight, your Facebook was a place that I could go to get pictures, whether you wanted me to have them. So at this time, David, would you take it over and thank our other assistant governors?
You bet. Yeah, like most things on the internet, it stays on there forever. This was a while ago, but thanks for pulling that together. Each year, much like any other assistant governor, it's typically 3 years in a term, and at the pleasure of the governor. And this last year, the terms ended for Crystal Farnsworth up on the coast. I know Crystal's on with us. Jerry Cochran, although I did not see him, and Spike Biggers. Each one brought their own flavor. And as most of you know, your clubs are your family in Rotary District, and the district governors, assistant district governors, actually became mine. Building those friendships, leaning on each other, looking for each other for advice, for what do I do now, but also just support and being able to move through the next group of president-elects as you're going through pets. Those are the things that I won't ever forget, and I want to thank each of these three for making it through for those 3 years. Thank you, Crystal, Jerry, and Spike.
Excellent. Thank you all for your service. I know I got to know each one of you very well, and as they say, I think Bill Greil was the first one to tell me years ago that being an AG is probably the best job in the world. So you really get to go see everybody and interact with them and listen to what they have to say, and then you can send it off to somebody else to get it done. So again, thank you all for your service. Thank you very much. We also would be remiss if we didn't thank those that go off as our district committee chairs. Once again, like our other offices, you serve a 3-year, and we've come to the 3-year. Del Gray has come off of the RILA committee. Dell's down. I think Dell's down fishing in Cabo, so he's not on here, is he, Bill?
No, I think Dell is still out there chasing marlin and tuna.
There you go. And Jamie Belzer, who was our Interact chair, once again, thank you for your service. And then there's Lori Fleck, who she kind of finished being our data management, but she was our district administrator, our secretary, whatever you want to call, but a real shout out to her, because for so many years she's been there to keep all of us in line. She was the prodding mother hen when we had to do our annual report. So again, Lori, thank you very much. And then coming off what we call our 3 musketeers, Beth Sheehan, Michelle Kellison, and past District Governor Bill Greil took over membership for a couple of years, doing the membership 120s, coming around and trying to work with the clubs. And if you want to put a committee together that has a lot of energy, just get Beth and Bill around with Michelle trying to, ride herd on all of them. But what a great committee they were, and our many thanks to them for the service they've provided. And then finally, obviously, Claudette is chairing the nominations committee, but she's coming off as the awards and recognition committee. And, Claudette, as a past district governor, has been involved in just a lot of things, and she's still there and trying to do it. So Claudette, again, our hats off to you for everything you've been able to do. So thank you very much for that. And then I guess as a final thing, if we were sitting in some place having it, we would actually have to do this changing of the guard, passing of the gavel, whatever you want. So Cindy and I happen to be together on Monday, giving out some tools and things. So at this time, Cindy, I'm going to let you have the final words.
Well, what do you know? Governor Rick Olson, soon to be past district governor Rick Olson in a second or two. Oops, aren't you really the past district governor now?
I am as of July 1, but here you go. This is May, remember?
It is my pleasure to present you with the coveted Past District Governor Award for District 5110. You were the right leader for a tough year, and we all so appreciate you. I want to say one more time that our governor team, our leadership team is fabulous. And the transition from being district governor-elect to becoming governor was easier because of all of you, but especially you, Rick. It was seamless because in the last 3 months with COVID, we just worked together to bring the year forward into 2020-21. Thank you so much for your service, Rick, your service to our great district, 5110. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cindy. And I think with that, Bill, that's the end of what we have here. So we can open it back up, and anybody that wants to now talk, unmute everybody. Anybody that wants to hang around, will hang around. But we'd love to hear people talk to each other because that's what it's about. I'll quit sharing my screen here, and it can go back to those that were there and take a moment to talk to each other.
Congratulations, Rick, on a great year. Welcome, Cindy. We're glad to have you on board officially now that Rick's finally passed the gavel.
Yeah, it took him a while, don't you think?
Yeah. Amen.
It was my
So,
pleasure
thank
to
you, Mike.
serve for you, Rick.
Well, and you know, I'm honored to see you take on PEO.
Good job, Rick.
By Zoom.
Good job, Rick. Cheers to a great year for you, and cheers to you, Cindy.
Yes,
Thank
you're
you.
here.
Cheers. Here.
Cheers.
You know, Rick and Cindy, I think that you two were the perfect combination at the perfect time during this pandemic and this crisis. You just handled everything so seamlessly and perfectly.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Nelson. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks to Bill
Great
and
year.
John
Great year.
for making sure this worked.
Did you get a haircut? You have a different look. What's going on?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a special haircut. Takes a year to get it. Yeah.
Oh, Cindy, you're so kind.
Chemotherapy.
You are
Yeah.
the best. You are the best.
Cindy?
You look beautiful.
Hey, Rick.
Thank you.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
We're toasting you, but our bottle's empty, so we're gonna have to sign off, buddy.
Well, thank you, and this is for the women of Rotary and Eugene. Thank you very much. Is that the second bottle?
Don't ask any more questions.
They look questionable to me, Rick.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, I'd like to thank you and Cindy for all your direction. And I was remiss in not thanking my wife, who's been a Rotarian for 32 years. And she's the one that actually got me into the club. And she's been my mentor and behind the scenes. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I want to thank her.
Cheers
And,
to her.
I appreciate all the direction that both of you gave to me. Thank you.
Did a great
I'd like to
job
wish you
last year.
the best, Rick and Cindy. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Rick and Cindy, one of your old past district governors. Great job. Keep it up and we'll go forward.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, we'll look forward when we get back together again so we can all share wine
Yeah, exactly.
or beer or whatever.
And hugs.
And hugs.
Congrats, Rick. Great job. Cindy, here we go.
Congratulations to both of you. I'm glad I was able to meet you at least at PETS before all.
All right. Well, should we call this a wrap?
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.